They say success is about luck. But what if it's really about muscle? Not the kind you build in a gym, but the kind you build in your mind. Arnold Schwarzenegger was never supposed to be famous. He was born in 1947 in a tiny Austrian village called Thal. His father was a strict police officer who believed in order, not dreams. His family didn't have much. The walls were cold, and discipline was everything. But deep inside, little Arnold had a fire that no rule could extinguish. While other kids kicked soccer balls on muddy streets, Arnold stared at pictures of muscle men in magazines. He looked at their sculpted bodies and thought, "That's what I want to be." His father called it nonsense. His teachers laughed, but Arnold didn't care. He saw a vision of himself standing on a stage, the world cheering his name. At 18, he joined the Austrian army. Discipline was familiar, but the dream didn't fade. One night, he did the unthinkable. He escaped from the military base to compete in a bodybuilding contest in Germany. And he won first place. When he returned, they threw him in jail for abandoning his post. But even behind bars, Arnold smiled, because he knew it had been worth it. The dream was real now. In 1968, with barely any money and almost no English, Arnold boarded a plane to America. He stepped into Los Angeles with a thick accent, a broken vocabulary, and a heart full of belief. Everyone around him said he'd never make it. He was too big, too foreign. His name was impossible to pronounce, but none of that mattered to him. He trained relentlessly at Gold's Gym in Venice, California. He woke up before sunrise, worked out until his muscles burned, and then studied English at night. Every failure, every insult became fuel. Within a few years, he started winning bodybuilding titles. At just 23, he became the youngest Mr. Olympia in history. The boy from Thal had conquered the fitness world. But Arnold wasn't satisfied. He wanted something bigger, the silver screen. Hollywood, however, didn't welcome him with open arms. Casting agents told him his body was too bulky, his accent too strange, his last name too long. One producer even said, "Arnold, no one will ever understand you." But Arnold had heard this story before. He had learned one thing: when people doubt you, it's not a sign to quit. It's a sign you're on the right path. He kept showing up. He took acting lessons, learned camera techniques, and studied business. Then came his first big break, Conan the Barbarian, a low-budget fantasy film that turned into a global hit. Audiences had never seen anyone like him before. The strength, the confidence, the raw charisma. Overnight, Arnold became a new kind of movie hero. 2 years later, destiny knocked again. Director James Cameron was working on a sci-fi film about a killer robot. Arnold was meant to audition for a minor role, but when Cameron saw him, he knew this wasn't a side character. This was the Terminator. With just 17 lines in the entire movie, Arnold delivered one of cinema's most iconic quotes, "I'll be back." Those 3 words turned him into a legend. From that moment, the world couldn't get enough of him. One blockbuster after another: Commando, Predator, Total Recall, True Lies. He wasn't just an actor, he was a symbol of dominance, power, and perseverance. But behind the fame, Arnold had another side, the entrepreneur. Before his acting career even took off, he had already become a millionaire through real estate investments. While his peers spent money on fast cars, Arnold was buying apartment buildings, renovating them, and selling them for profit. He wasn't just building muscles, he was building wealth. "Don't just work for money," he said. "Make money work for you." By the 1990s, Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't just a man. He was a brand, a global icon of success. But in 2003, he shocked the world again. Instead of another movie, he announced a campaign for governor of California. Reporters laughed. A Hollywood action hero running a state of 39 million people? Impossible. But once again, Arnold proved them wrong. He campaigned with his trademark energy and charisma, promising to restore California's economy and optimism. The people believed him, and they voted. Overnight, the Terminator became the Governator. The immigrant who once struggled to pronounce California was now running it. During his time in office, he faced crises, wildfires, recessions, political chaos. But he faced them the same way he faced every challenge in his life, with focus and determination. He often said, "You can have results or excuses, not both." But even legends stumble. Arnold's personal life hit rough waters, public scandals, a painful divorce, moments that made headlines worldwide. For many, it would have been the end. But not for him. He didn't hide from his mistakes. He confronted them. He rebuilt his life piece by piece, the same way he rebuilt his body, with discipline and honesty. Today, Arnold is no longer chasing fame. He's chasing purpose. He inspires millions through his speeches, his books, and his foundation work. He promotes fitness, environmental action, and self-belief. He tells young people that success isn't about luck or talent. It's about consistency. He once said, "Be useful. Don't just exist. Do something that makes a difference." And he's lived by that rule every single day. Arnold's success formula is simple but powerful. Have a clear vision, think big, ignore the naysayers, work your butt off, and give something back. He never saw limits, only possibilities. The truth is, Arnold never wanted to be ordinary. Ordinary meant predictable. Ordinary meant safe. He wanted to live a life that made people say, "How did he do it?" And the answer is, by never stopping. Every time someone told him he couldn't, he did. Every time life pushed him down, he got up stronger. From a tiny village in Austria to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, from lifting weights to lifting the hopes of millions, Arnold Schwarzenegger became the embodiment of the American dream. But his story isn't just about fame or power. It's about belief, the kind that can move mountains and silence every doubt, the kind that makes an ordinary person extraordinary. He didn't just change his body, he changed how the world saw strength. It wasn't just about biceps and trophies. It was about the power to turn vision into victory. When you look at Arnold's life, you see more than muscles. You see mindset. You see discipline, hunger, and a refusal to quit. His life is proof that success doesn't come from waiting for the right moment. It comes from creating it. He once said, "Strength doesn't come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength." Every title he won, every movie he made, every obstacle he conquered, they all began with one thing, a dream that no one else believed in. Arnold showed the world that you don't need to be born into greatness. You can build it with your own hands. You can come from nothing and still achieve everything. The next time someone tells you your dream is too big, remember the boy from Thal who was told the same thing. Remember the accent everyone mocked. Remember the rejections, the failures, the doubts, and then remember what happened next, the triumph. Because that's what Arnold teaches us. Dreams don't work unless you do. So don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid to be misunderstood. Don't be afraid to be different. Be bold enough to believe in yourself when no one else does. Arnold's story isn't about a man who got lucky. It's about a man who never stopped pushing, never stopped improving, and never stopped believing that he was capable of more. He taught us that greatness doesn't come overnight. It's built, rep by rep, day by day, decision by decision. In the end, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't just become a champion, a superstar, or a governor. He became a symbol of human potential, of what happens when vision meets determination. He reminds us that it's not the strongest who succeed, nor the smartest, but those who refuse to give up. And maybe that's the real lesson. We all have a bit of Arnold in us. That voice that says, "I can do more. I can be more." The question is, will you listen to it? Because life will always test you. People will doubt you. The world will try to stop you. But as Arnold proved, the only real limits are the ones you accept. So stand tall, dream bigger, work harder, and when they tell you it's impossible, just smile and say, like he did, "I'll be back." If this story inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because somewhere out there another dreamer is waiting to hear that it's possible. And maybe, just maybe, that dreamer is you.